go to the fridge for some lemonade. Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Wheel of Albums, along with my brother Adam and my friend Jack. I am Justin. What we do here on Wheel of Albums is we spin a wheel of the 1001 albums you must hear before you die, from Robert Dimery's book of the same title. Then we listen to that album for a few times through the week, and we get back to you to let you know it's an album we think you must listen to before you die. This week, we have those crazy Gallagher brothers from Oasis and their 1995 album, What's the Story, Morning Glory. Man, this thing's cool.
What's the Story, Morning Glory. It came up on the wheel, and I remember that the album was big and Oasis was big, and I remembered at least 2 songs by them, and I figured I was going to know them. They were popular songs at the time, and a couple of them lasted for the ensuing decades. I don't think I was familiar with the album as a whole. I was going to give it a listen.
And man, my initial reaction to this one was, all right. I look back on an album that was in constant rotation 30 years ago when I was a senior in high school. Morning Glory is going to go down smooth and bring up the nostalgia.
What's the Story, Morning Glory? Wow, this is going to bring back some memories to the mid-90s. When this got spun, I was like, sure. I knew there was going to be a couple of Oasis albums on the wheel. Let's see what we got. And, arguably, let's go with their big one first here from 1995. Fellas, do you have any memories from 1995 and Oasis back then? Because people's nostalgia for them now, I underestimated.
I can remember exactly where I was when I bought Morning Glory on CD, and I bought it in East Lansing, Michigan, and heard it in a Michigan State dorm room for the first time on a trip in February of 1996 to see my girlfriend at the time, hearing Don't Look Back in Anger for sure on that one, and really being just wowed by the entire album. Just Oasis in general, through high school and college really sticks out as one of the main bands that I listened to and I've always enjoyed.
My first exposure to Oasis is What's the Story, Morning Glory. It took place in October in 1995. Ironically, the same time it was released. Good friend John Boyd, who was always good as far as picking us up and taking us to concerts we weren't aware if we were going to like or not. This was one of them. On college radio, I'd been playing the title track to What's the Story, Morning Glory. So, nothing big had hit yet. We go to see them at a club that probably holds 500 people, the Metropole in Pittsburgh. They sounded great from what I remember. They were only a 4-piece band for some reason, for what I remember too. And Scotty B along for the trip. John Boyd asking in between songs, because it got quiet, could you play Daydream Believer? And the G version is Noel Gallagher saying, lads, we do not play Davy Jones in this venue here.
Oasis having the hits. Wonderwall played a whole lot. I don't know if that's because I happened to go on a road trip around the time it was released as a single. I went from Tulsa to Graceland, became overly familiar with Wonderwall, and enjoyed it. Thought it was a really nice song, catchy. I never thought Oasis was big, but I may have missed the boat somehow. And I also wasn't aware of the great Britpop battle that was going on in Britain between Blur and Oasis. I will say, stateside, Oasis clearly won. Blur is a blip just to get played after people score goals at hockey games.
Come on, Liam. Quit being a rock star. The entire album recorded in just 15 days, and Noel played bass on 3 of the songs, Wonderwall, Cast No Shadow, and She's Electric. Noel evidently wanted to sing lead vocals on either Wonderwall or Don't Look Back in Anger, and he gave Liam the choice, but he played Liam Wonderwall first, which Liam promptly chose, and many believe this is because he actually wanted to sing Don't Look Back in Anger. And if that's the case, it worked because he does a fantastic job.
It's always this Gallagher brothers thing, but we've lost sight really of the more important brother relationship is the Howe brothers. Is who brings more to Wheel of Albums? Really, is it the brazen philosophy of Adam Howe, or is it the chuckling wisdom of Justin Howe? We may never know. I'm just glad they get along way better than the Gallagher brothers do.
I like to think the Howe boys are even a step above the Duke brothers, Dukes of Hazzard. But if we really look at What's the Story, Morning Glory, and how it stacks up today listening to it compared to at least me and Adam listening to it back in 1995. What are some of your favorite tracks then and now, and what works and what doesn't? Adam?
The go-to track back then was Wonderwall for me. I loved it. I had the single of that with the excellent B-side, Round Our Way. I can remember walking through the halls of high school singing Round Our Way in my head, just round our way, the birds are singing. But coming back to it 30 years later, the best song for me is Cast No Shadow, being, getting close to 50, and there's some depth to that song if you really dive into the lyrics of it. Being a guy and feeling like maybe you're not seen all the time, things like that. It's deep. So I really like Cast No Shadow. I think I honestly think it's best song on the album.
My favorite track on the album is Wonderwall, and that's obviously the one I also like from 30 years ago, because that's really about the only one I remember. Champagne Supernova, to me, really is aged kind of poorly. It's really kind of sloppy songwriting. It's incongruent to slowly walking faster than a cannonball. Is the cannonball actually slow then, and they're just making fun? They crank out Some Might Say. Listen to it and tell me if it doesn't remind you of if some British people were told what Southern Fried Rock is like. Oasis are kind of conniving boys, if you will. Maybe almost like if they're Bond villains using derivative Beatle-esque music to control your mind, to make you all zombies, Oasis zombies, and your eyebrows will slowly grow together.
I would pay to see the Gallagher brothers as Bond villains in an upcoming movie. Daniel Craig and Live Forever. This album still starts off like gangbusters to me. Hello, Roll With It, Wonderwall, and Don't Look Back in Anger, despite being overplayed, still has some nice nostalgia. Hey Now and the two Swamp songs I could do without. It's a shame because there's songs like Aqueous, Talk Tonight, and The Master Plan, which would make this album even better. Unfortunately, they were pegged as B-sides. Something I did notice compared to 1995, I love the second half of this album. Cast No Shadow, like Adam said, brilliant. She's Electric, it's needed in there. Something lighthearted. And Some Might Say and Champagne Supernova, probably my two favorite tracks on this album. Adam, are you shelling out $500 to see this reunion tour?
My answer to that, honestly, is probably no. Just for the fact that looking at the set lists and what they've done, and I understand, like, they probably, so they're not arguing all the time, are stuck to, this is what we're going to play every night. But that leaves a little something that, there's so many great songs that they could just do a different set list every night, and they're not doing that. They're leaving a lot of songs that could be played. I think I'm passing on it for that reason. But if they were mixing up the set lists, I'd be there in a heartbeat.
I will not be seeing Oasis. There was some talk, and I went to a car show in Pittsburgh a few months ago, and oddly enough, there was a fellow there from Britain who has made his summer's project to see Oasis as many times as possible, because he says each show feels like it could be the last show.
There is no Oasis without Noel Gallagher. There's no Oasis without his songwriting and the amount of songs that he wrote in a short amount of time. I mean, they literally could have released 4 albums based off of what he wrote for Definitely Maybe and What's the Story, Morning Glory.
At the same time, though, you need Liam. Without those vocals, it's tough to say Oasis is Oasis, because they need each other. And they believe in one another, too. Again, in hindsight, why isn't Aqueous on this album?
What's the story? Morning Glory by Oasis.
Well, thank you, Sydney. Let's take a look at the ratings now. Adam gave it the highest mark on a scale of 1 to 10. Adams, he gave it an 8.3. I gave it an 8.0. Jack was in the 5s with a 5.18. Our 3 favorite songs: Wonderwall, Champagne Supernova, Cast No Shadow. Our least, the 2-part Swamp song through the album.
Should you story before the glory? The answer to that is an absolute yes. I love every song on this album. Hey Now and the Swamp Song excerpts bring it down just a scotch, in my opinion. But, I mean, Hello, Roll With It. are fantastic. Always loved She's Electric. It's a little bit sillier, but Oasis did a good job with that every once in a while too. I think it's the one out of all the Oasis albums that you have to listen to. Morning Glory is where you need to go if you only have time to listen to one Oasis album before you die.
I think the album is very well done. It is reflective of what overproduced, somewhat derivative, nostalgia-driven pop can be, and exactly what it was in 1994 and 1995. So even though it's not necessarily my bag, and I'm not going to listen to it again, I'm on the fence on this one, but I'm going to go ahead and say yes. They knew what they were doing. They ultimately were taken down by James Bond, and so, Spectre loses again. Good. What's the Story, Morning Glory is a 51% yes for me.
I'm going to keep my opinions on definitely maybe for another podcast, and I can tell you everything after Morning Glory fails in comparison to this album. This gets a big yes from me. This album is Noel Gallagher at his top, songwriting, performing, and something I've never noticed before. Two things. It has staying power, and these songs are anthems, and people love anthems. And these are well-constructed working-class anthems. And that's why people didn't get to see them in the 90s are shelling out the money now to go see them. Boy, we only spent $20 to see them a few times, aren't we, Adam? Well, this is exciting. We're to spin number 40, Jack.
Let's give the wheel another spin. 1986. Peter Gabriel, So. I remember this album well. You'll tune in for the next Wheel of Albums.
All your dreams are made when you go to the fridge for some lemonade. Where did it go? Anyway, I'm Justin, and this is our episode. Today, we spin that wheel, and all the albums and your dreams come true. Today, guess what I spun? I spun What's the Story? Morning Glory by Oasis. Yeah! So we're gonna be listening to this for 3 times in a row. I don't know how that's not annoying, but here we go! And now I'm gonna walk away. Album, yeah.
The chuckling wisdom.
Good night. God bless. Safe journey home.